We've been told this stuff is healthy, essential even. But for kids with ADHD, it could be one of the most disruptive things in their diet. And most parents have no idea how much dairy could be affecting their child's ADHD symptoms. But once you learn the science, you can't unsee it. We're talking mood swings, meltdowns, brain fog, gut issues, all from something most kids eat every single day. When I first removed dairy from my son's diet, okay, I was skeptical as well, but within just a few weeks, the changes in his ADHD symptoms were undeniable. If you're parenting a child with ADHD and you've been doing everything right, but the symptoms still aren't budging, dairy might be the missing piece. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly why. I'm Dana Kay, a board certified health and nutrition practitioner, and I specialize in helping families of kids with ADHD reduce symptoms naturally without medication. Now, after helping over 1,500 families and seeing it firsthand with my own son, I can tell you removing dairy can be a game changer. Now, if you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you never miss another video. So today, we're breaking it all down for you. Why dairy is so inflammatory, especially for kids with ADHD. What are the red flags that your child may be reacting to it? What to eat instead, and how to start without getting overwhelmed. Okay, so let's dive in. Most people think dairy issues are caused by lactose intolerance, tummy aches, bloating, gas, and for kids with ADHD, the bigger issue isn't always lactose. Sometimes it's something called A1 beta-casein instead. Now, this is a protein in most cow's milk that breaks down into a compound called BCM7. It's a type of casomorphin, and it acts in the brain like a weak opioid. Yes, opioid. You heard that right, as in the same class as morphine. In kids with leaky gut, and I can tell you that's a lot of kids with ADHD, these casomorphins can cross the gut lining, enter the bloodstream, and bind to the opioid receptors in the brain. And as you can imagine, this can trigger emotional dysregulation, focus issues, cravings for cheese and milk, mood swings, brain fog. So no, it's not just cheese, it's a chemical that literally changes how your child's brain functions. Now, here's why kids react so strongly with ADHD. Now, children with ADHD often already struggle with gut inflammation, detox issues, immune dysregulation, and nutrient deficiencies. So if you add dairy to that mix, it's kind of like, I don't know, pouring gasoline on a fire. Along with containing the A1 beta-casein, cow's milk also naturally contains over 35 hormones and growth factors, including estrogen, progesterone, IGF-1, which is an insulin-like growth factor. It's also got adrenal and pituitary hormones. Why? Because milk, when you think about it, it's designed to grow a baby calf into a 1,000-pound animal in less than a year. Okay, so it makes total sense for a calf to drink it. But for a child with ADHD, especially one with detoxification challenges or endocrine imbalance, this hormonal load can really overwhelm the body and dysregulate the nervous system. Even organic or raw milk still contains these hormones. That's just how milk works. So when you see big emotions or sensory overload, it's not just behavior. It's your child's body under stress. Now, look, I know some of you are watching and might be thinking, okay, but isn't dairy good for the bones? You know, this is one of the biggest myths out there. We're told that milk is essential for calcium and bone health. But studies, including those from the World Health Organization, say otherwise. In fact, animal protein like dairy can actually leach calcium from bones in certain conditions. So instead, strong bones come from exercise, plant-rich diets, and key nutrients like vitamin D, magnesium, and K2. So no, your child doesn't need dairy for strong bones. Okay, what about raw milk or A2 milk? This one comes up a lot. This is a great question. Raw milk is less processed. This is true, but it still contains casein and natural hormones. A2 milk actually removes the A1 protein, which is better, but not completely safe for sensitive kids. So while these might be less bad, they're still inflammatory for many neurodivergent kids. So if your child is constantly craving dairy or you're seeing dysregulation despite everything else you're doing, it's definitely worth removing it. So, how do you know if dairy is actually affecting your child? These are the signs I see most often in the families that I work with and in my own home. There are behavioral signs like aggression, meltdowns, trouble focusing, or mood swings. And then there are also physical signs, but not in all cases. So things like constipation, eczema, dark circles under the eyes, runny noses, asthma, or congestion. And remember, most dairy sensitivities won't show up on an allergy test. These are inflammatory reactions, not classic IgE allergies. Okay, now let's get totally practical because removing dairy doesn't have to feel like, deprivation. In fact, there are so many great swaps my own son loves. Going dairy-free does not mean missing out. There are tons of dairy-free options out there. Coconut milk, almond milk, cashew milk, oat milk. Just watch out for those added gums and sugars. A few of my favorite brands are things like Elmhurst, as you can see here. We've also got Mulk, as you can see here. There's Three Trees, there's Kiki, Forager, Muala, Aroid, Nutty Life, and Good Milk Co. Okay, now what about cheese? Let's be real. Cheese is that comfort food. And yes, it's the hardest one to replace, but even picky eaters can learn to live without it and they can also thrive. So keep in mind, most dairy-free cheeses won't be exact copies of the normal thing, but some come really close. And here are a few of my family's favorites. We've got Miyoko's, as you can see here. There's also Kite Hill, Violife, Daya, and Follow Your Heart. Now, when starting out, it's sometimes easier just to totally skip cheese altogether until your child's taste buds reset. And then you can slowly try a few swaps and see what really works for your family. And if your child's a picky eater, that is totally okay. You don't have to swap everything at once. Start small. Maybe do milk first. You could do 3/4 normal milk and 1/4 dairy milk and stay there for a bit and then slowly adjust the percentage. You can then move to yogurt and then cheese. Now, here's something I wish I had known a lot sooner. Over 50% of kids who react to gluten also react to dairy. You're probably asking why. Now, both damage the gut lining, trigger immune responses, and really disrupt those neurotransmitters like that dopamine and serotonin. And when we removed both gluten and dairy from my son's diet, it was a major turning point for my son Oliver. He was calmer. He was sleeping better. He was more focused. He was less anxious. So if you've already tried gluten-free, but you haven't seen the full results, this might be why. But again, I want to give you this reminder. Rome wasn't built in a day. You don't have to go all in overnight. So just start with one thing. Swap your milk. Try a new snack. Replace cheese in one recipe this week. Totally keep it simple. Track what changes. Celebrate every single win. And if you want help, I'm happy to support you along the way. Check out my website, ADHD ThriveInstitute.com, for some great gluten and dairy-free recipes to help you as you get started. Now, if your child's ADHD symptoms feel stuck despite all your best efforts, dairy could be the hidden trigger. Removing dairy isn't about doing more. It's about doing what works. So try a trial removal, pay attention to what shifts, and get support along the way. You've tried so much already. You deserve to see progress. And if dairy is the thing holding your child back, imagine what could open up if it's gone. Now, if this video helped you, hit that like button and share it with another parent who needs to hear this. By sharing this video, you're spreading hope to other families out there who are also struggling. So share it far and wide. I'm Donna Kay, your ADHD health practitioner, and I'll see you in the next video.